Mountain number 2 is a challenging par 5, but depending on the wind conditions, it can be reachable for some players and have a good birdie or eagle opportunity. Other times it can be a really difficult 3-shot par 5 as well. So off the tee here, you kind of want to start planning ahead for what you might be able to do with your second shot or where you might want to lay up. Off the tee, there is a fairway bunker on the left-hand side. That's really the main thing to avoid. There's another fairway bunker further down on the right-hand side that's in play for some of the longer hitters and might take away that opportunity to reach the green in 2. So you just want to navigate around those. If you're confident it's going to be a 3-shot hole, you could definitely lay back a little bit, maybe even less than driver, just to get into a good position and be able to have a nice look for your second shot to put it into a good spot. But if you are going to go for it, then keep the tee shot a little bit more down the right-hand side, and that you should give you a decent opportunity to reach this green here in 2. So today we're going to go ahead and hit driver, kind of right center of the fairway, try to set ourselves up for a good look on the second. All right, so we found a spot here just into the right rough, but in good position. Stayed short of this fairway bunker here on the right-hand side that I mentioned back on the tee box. Hole's playing a little downwind today, so we definitely got a little closer than I was expecting, but still going to be in good position here for our second. So going up to this green, we do now have some water in play down the right-hand side and 2 greenside bunkers that protect the front of the green, with another one about 30-40 yards short of the green on the left-hand side. So you have a few things to think about here. If you're going to lay up, number 1, definitely keep it far to the left-hand side. There's a pretty severe slope that comes down and it'll push any ball that's a little bit left back right into the center of the fairway pretty much. So definitely keep it well left of that water, and also avoid that fairway bunker or that greenside bunker that's just about 30 yards short. That's going to leave you a really awkward shot. So you definitely want to lay up something a little bit short of that, but again, well to the right to give yourself a good angle and to stay well away from the water. But this morning, we're going to go ahead and try to get up close to the green. If it's a blue pin and it's far in the back right, you have to really carry it all the way there, and you might run the risk of bouncing over the back and maybe even finding the water on the back side of this hole. So, depending on the hole location is probably going to determine how aggressive you want to be with going for this one in 2. Today, though, we have a red flag that's in the front left portion, so I can aim a little bit left of this green and even a little bit short, and if I hit it just right and it gets up there, great, but if it comes up just a little bit short left into that little collection area that's right there, I'm going to be in great shape as well. So this is a little safer opportunity to go for this green in 2. So we're going to go ahead and do that now and see if we can't set up either a good look for our third with a short chip, or maybe even have an eagle putt here when we're done. Before we go ahead and hit our third shot here on this hole, I want to talk about red penalty areas. A lot of people might refer to these as water hazards and things, but it can also include areas, waste areas or desert areas that have been marked with either red paint or red stakes. And in the case of when you're in one of those, you have the ability to take relief for a 1-stroke penalty, and that relief is similar to what you would get with an unplayable lie. The difference here, though, is you're going to use the point at which you crossed into the penalty area as your reference for taking relief, as opposed to maybe the spot where the ball is actually lying, like you might with an unplayable lie. So in this case here, let's imagine we've hit a shot into the water here from this angle, and my ball entered about right here. I would go ahead and I would take one of 3 options from that point. I would either replay my previous shot for a 1-stroke penalty, so go all the way back to where I hit from previously, find the spot as close as I can to where it was before and play from there. Or I can do back on a line relief, so just like an unplayable lie, I can stand here behind that point that I entered, go right into line with the flag and go straight back as far back as I want on that line. Or I can do 2 club lengths from that point. Again, it's where the ball crossed the margin of the penalty area, though. So, if my ball crossed here and went way out into the middle of this pond, I'm still using this as my reference point. for where my ball crossed and where I'm going to take relief from. So I would start there at the place I've marked, and then I could go 2 club lengths in any direction as usual, no nearer to the hole. So 1 stroke penalty, 2 club lengths, any direction, no nearer to the hole. So in this case here, let's just kind of go almost straight back like that. So I'll mark the first club length and then the second club length like this. I can go ahead and pick that center tee up, and then I have that space between those two to go ahead and make my drop and then play away from there. So again, similar to unplayable lie in the options that you have, but very different in the sense that you're going to use the point that you crossed into the penalty area as your reference, as opposed to the spot where the ball is actually sitting. Okay, so somewhat as planned, we got just a little bit left of the green there with our second shot. It was a little bit of an awkward chip, so I didn't get it super close to the hole, but still an easy 2-putt. Had a good chance at birdie, but we'll be happy with par here on this one. So again, this one, really even from the tee box, you kind of want to take note of what the wind's doing and what your chances are of executing either a 2-shot par 5 or a 3-shot par 5. And certainly if it's that 3-shot par 5, you really want to think about how much risk do you really need to take on off the tee as well as on the second shot. And then with that second shot is just the most important thing is, of course, staying well away from the water and avoiding that green side fairway bunker that's just a little bit short of the green. So hopefully next time you play this one, some of those tips help you out, and have a great round the rest of the way.